Are you ready to go, sex kittens?
I am. I'm recording. Are you recording?
I'm recording. Are you recording?
If you never call me sex kitten again, sure.
Remember Akira? That's from Japan. Remember Galaga and Mrs. Pac-Man? Remember Highlander and Highlander 2? Remember Star Trek? We certainly do. Reading Player One.
Hello. And welcome back to Reading Player One. I'm Mark Lovers-Larrity. This is Jesse and Sam.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
I want to show you guys something before we dive on in. I want to show you the poster for Ready Player One because it's got something notable about it, and I want to see if you twig what's unusual about it.
I'm sorry I laughed like a little hyena. I'm on Rant Grumps still.
Oh, yeah, we were talking about Rant Grumps. What's crazy about Rant Grumps?
I saw a post that was just titled, Aaron died in 2018.
I don't believe he did.
Is it Avril Lavigne type situation?
Ever since 2018, Aaron has been pretty much dead weight, and I have a theory that might explain why this is. So it goes like this. Aaron had a brain aneurysm in November of 2018 due to the stress of running a large gaming channel. Instead of ending the channel, the company held an Aaron lookalike contest through email.
This is too
Oh my
real.
god.
Alright, 1 second.
Okay,
let's cut. We're looking at the poster.
We're looking at the poster. Do you guys notice anything unusual?
There's an egg in the background.
There is an egg. Happy Easter, everyone.
Well, other than the egg, do you notice anything?
Better reality. Is there?
Look at the legs on your man.
Oh, his leg is very long.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a long leg.
Long leg.
That man,
Legs so
that
long,
man
and
is
they're an
made
egg.
out of legs.
I just wanted to share that with you because people were asking. Someone was asking on Twitter, "Are we going to talk about the long leg poster?"
Why is his leg so long?
Too long.
Long.
Too
Every day
long.
is leg day.
Like, where is his knee? Where is his...
What I love is that it's just one leg that's that long. So like, his gait would have to be fucked up.
Well, we don't know how long the other leg is because it's bent. So maybe he has two gigantic...
No, we can't. We do. We do, in fact. It's just that it's bent. You can kind of figure it out.
Maybe you can stretch him at will.
Damn. Oh, like a Mr. Tickle situation. Last episode, we went very slowly because we had a friend on. This episode, I am determined, hell or high water, to get Chapter 1 done. So, let's jump in. I don't know. Maybe your experience differed from mine. For me, growing up as a human being on the planet Earth in the 21st century was a real kick in the teeth. Existentially speaking. We were talking about this for ages last week, that, like, the setting is so depressing.
Yeah.
I can't wait for it to get nice and kind of lightweight after this part.
I can't wait for it to turn into Space Jam 2.
Why does he say, like, a human being on the planet Earth as opposed to, like, what?
Yeah,
Are there space... Is there space people in this one?
Yeah, they haven't gotten to Mars. That's not a thing. By the way, just this week, as we record, the trailer for Space Jam: A New Legacy dropped, and it's basically Ready Player One again. Like, they even have the Iron Giant in it again and everything. And I sent Jesse the trailer, and Jesse said, from head to toe, that's the Player One.
I want you to know that I didn't watch it.
Fuck you.
I want you to know I just saw the picture and I heard what you said and I said, that seems like the Player One. So I said head to toe, that's Player One, but I didn't watch or consume any content from the new Space Jam movie.
Oh, wait,
Jesus.
it looks like Ready Player One. Like, it's very digital. Wow.
Yes, what's his name goes into a computer to save his son by playing basketball with the Looney Tunes.
Is that the little Mexican mouse? Are they bringing the little Mexican mouse into Space Jam: A New Legacy? I don't remember his name. What is his name?
Speedy Gonzalez. I don't
Yes.
know. They are cutting Pepe Le Pew.
Oh, they're cutting Pepe.
Why are
They were going
cutting Pepe?
to put in a scene. They had filmed a scene where your man talks to Pepe Le Pew about consent, but they cut it.
Thank God for that. That would have been insufferable.
That would have been pretty dumb.
Honestly, I'm kind of getting sick of our, liberal society.
Jesse, I swear to Christ.
I miss the good old days when a skunk could follow me with a love trail while sniffing and floating, and he didn't have to be self-conscious about making me uncomfortable.
That's true. Like, didn't you two meet when, like, you hit a pole that had wet paint on it and there was a white stripe down your back? And that made Sam go awooga?
Awooga and start floating and sniffing and going wee wee.
Yeah.
Wee wee.
That's our cute.
I am in love.
Yeah. I'm gonna cut this bit short because we're like 10 minutes in and we've read like one paragraph.
Wait, can I say one more thing? Please,
go for
first.
it.
Just
Yeah.
one more thing.
Yeah.
I did read ahead a little bit. I read ahead a little bit, and I made myself laugh. Because I saw a line that you're going to get to that says, so I swallowed all of the dark age nonsense. But I read it as, I swallowed all of the dark eggs. And I was like, what's going to happen? Coming up.
Oh boy.
Anyway,
Oh
proceed.
boy. What the fuck kind of a swerve did the plot take between here and there? The worst thing about being a kid was that no one told me the truth about my situation. In fact, they did the exact opposite. And of course, I believed them. Because I was just a kid, and I didn't know any better. So I swallowed all of the dark eggs nonsense they fed me. The facts were right there waiting for me, hidden in old books written by people who weren't afraid to be honest. Artists and scientists and philosophers and poets and let's players, many of them long dead. Like Aaron Hansen, who's been dead since 2018, because...
Allegedly.
I just received a text from my wife while you were speaking, asking me, are you reading about Space Jam? And the answer, honey, was yes.
I
Wow.
know, because you went too quiet. You went too quiet. Like, there was radio silence on your end, and I was like, that bastard is definitely reading up about Space Jam right now.
And I can confirm that not Pepe Le Pew is cut, but Speedy Gonzalez will be in Space Jam, played by Gabriel Iglesias.
You heard it here, folks.
Who's playing Speedy Gonzalez?
Gabriel Iglesias. He's like a comedian.
Oh, cool. It's good that they didn't just get Hank Azaria or whoever.
Jim Cummings will be the Tasmanian devil, but fuck Jim
What?
Cummings.
Yeah, fuck Jim Cummings.
Zendaya is Lola Bunny?
Zendaya is Lola Bunny? I'm down for that, honestly.
I don't
God.
know any of these other
Welcome to our Space Jam podcast. I mean, it's all the same, right? I'm going to leave you to your research. As I read the word stays left behind, I finally began to get a grip on this situation. Zendaya is Michi. Zendaya is Lola.
Yes, Lola.
Our situation. What most people refer to as the human condition. Being horny for Lola Bunny. It was not good news.
It was not good news.
The human plight.
I wish someone had just told me the truth right up front, as soon as I was old enough to understand it. I wish someone had just said, here's the deal, Wade. You're something called a human being. God, he's really onto this human being joke. That's a really smart kind of animal. Like every other animal on this planet, we've descended from a single-celled organism that lived millions of years ago. This happened by a process called evolution, and you'll learn more about it later, but trust me, that's really how we all got here. There's proof of it everywhere, buried in the rocks. Oh, it's fucking edgelord bullshit, okay. That story you heard, about how we were all created by a super powerful dude named God who lives up in the sky? Total bullshit. The whole God thing is actually an ancient fairy tale that people have been telling one another for thousands of years. We made it all up. Like Santa Claus and the Lola Bunny.
Did
I did not think that this was in the book for a second. I thought that you were just going on an atheist rant.
Yeah, that just...
No, that's not quite my aesthetic, no.
But now I'm surprised that Ernie went on an atheist rant in the middle of his fucking book randomly.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. Not a fan. Oh, and by the way, there's no Santa Claus or Lola Bunny. Also bullshit. Sorry, kid. Deal with it. Fucking sunglasses drop down. Yeah!
Edgelord.
We figured out how to grow food and domesticate animals so we didn't have to spend all of our time hunting. Oh my god, fucking crash course here.
Wait, is this all dialogue?
This is all dialogue, yeah, but like hypothetical dialogue that he wishes someone told him.
Stupid. This is
Stupid,
dumb, Ernie.
dumb book. I gotta, like, speed through this. Our tribes got much bigger to be spread across the entire planet like an unstoppable virus. Then after fighting a bunch of wars with each other over land, resources, and our made-up gods, we eventually got all our tribes organized into a global civilization. But honestly, it wasn't all that organized or civilized. But we also figured out how to do science, which helped us to develop technology. For a bunch of hairless apes, we actually managed to develop some pretty incredible things. Computers, medicine, lasers, Lola Bunny's titties, microwave ovens, artificial hearts, atomic bombs. We even sent a few guys to the moon and brought them back. We also created a global communications network that lets us all talk to each other all around the world all the time. Pretty impressive, right?
For everyone at home, this section that's just like hypothetical dialogue goes on for like nearly 2 pages.
Oh boy, yeah. A lot of this is going to get cut for your sake at home, all of it, but we're going to keep going through. There was an error with Sam's microphone, so you can just imagine that there was a Thanos finger snap and Sam dusted and fucking died.
Yeah,
and that's why Sam is not in the episode for a little while.
We are so much better with just us, though, loafers. So, like, do we really care?
I'm not in the episode for most of the episode.
We started with just us, and then you were like, I don't want to do this without my wife, my emotional support wife.
15 minutes I was in the episode.
It's okay, loafers can edit it down. A lot of the episode was just loafers reading and us not paying attention, so it's fine.
Also, it turns out that burning all of these fossil fuels has some nasty side effects, like raising the temperature of our planet and screwing up the environment. So now the polar ice caps are melting, sea levels are rising, and the weather is all messed up. Plants and animals are dying off in record numbers, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria, and lots of people are starving and homeless. And we're still fighting wars with each other, mostly over the few resources we have left. Cities have risen up on hydraulic legs and started doing kaiju battles with each other. Basically, kid, what this all means is that life is a lot tougher than it used to be in the good old days, but back before you were born. Humanized civilization is in decline. Some people even say it's collapsing. I love science fiction. Woo-wee! You're probably wondering what's going to happen to you. That's easy. The same thing is going to happen to you that has happened to every other human being who's ever lived. You're going to die. We all die. That's just how it is. I thought this book was fun. What's going on here?
I might have distracted myself by opening up my Old Dog Sanctuary app. So I was just making sure that Mac got all his needs. I just want to make sure that he's doing okay. I need to give him some.
So Sam was reading about Space Jam, and you're playing a shitty fucking mobile game where you give a dog belly rubs.
It's not shitty. It's a game from the Old Dog Sanctuary. Do you know what the Old Dog Sanctuary is?
I do know what the Old Dog Sanctuary is, and I wasn't aware that they had a game development studio.
They just make one. They just made one. You get to have, and they have all the dogs that are popular from the Old Dog Sanctuary.
Well, Ernie's over here asking the big questions, so if you can snap that fucking fictional dog's neck real fast, we can continue.
I'm not gonna do that, but I will turn off my phone.
Cool. I'm gonna throw your phone out the fucking window.
Is Mario here yet?
No, but we are talking about what happens when you die. Well, we're not completely sure.
I am.
But the evidence seems to suggest that nothing happens. You're just
I know
dead.
what happens when you die.
What?
You know in Mario 64, when you can pull Mario's face? And, like, he goes,
yeah.
You know, like that? And that's what happens when you die.
It's pretty grim. I think I take that over another one of those movies where, like, you die and it turns out that it's just, like, offices or whatever, and you have to do paperwork in heaven. Those stories you heard about going to a wonderful place called heaven, where there is no more pain or death and you all live forever in a state of perpetual happiness? Also, total bullshit. Just like all that God stuff, there's no evidence of a heaven, and there never was. We made that up too.
But how do you know? He doesn't know.
Ernest, you
don't know.
What if I fucking pulled a gun on you? Would you be able to evolve a bulletproof vest real fast for yourself? I don't think so. Checkmate.
I was perfectly happy until this section of the book started. Now I'm wondering what happens to those old dogs after they go to the sanctuary. Are they not going to go to heaven?
They go to a farm. Except, like, I think they're already on a farm, so I guess they go to a different farm. They just sort of shuffle through different farms. That's why they made the game, to upload their consciousnesses. We should render the consciousnesses of dogs from the old dog sanctuary as NFTs. There's a Doctor Who trading card game, an official one, that's based on blockchain and NFTs. And they started selling the cards before NFTs became a big controversy, but they were going for like up to £2,000.
Jeez.
Yeah, like single individual cards for a game, which, by the way, isn't out yet properly. You can buy the cards, but you can only play the game through the website, and the website isn't running the game yet. And like the second-hand market is selling cards for up to £1 million.
I see tomatoes on sale at the grocery store for like $3.99, and I go, "Whoa,
yeah,
that's too expensive for me."
Yeah, and what's being sold here is essentially JPEGs, which are vastly less valuable than fucking. Like, imagine paying £1 million for a JPEG of David Tennant.
I'm skipping us ahead because I'm staring at the one little section right here that says, "I never blamed my mom for the way things were." Well, that wakes one of us, kid.
That. I never blamed my mom for the way things were. That makes one. She was a victim of fate. She was a victim of fate and cruel circumstance, like everyone else. Her generation had it the hardest. She's been boiled as... Where's Mario getting here?
Where's Mario?
She's been born... Mario is missing. She was depressed all the time, same, and taking drugs seems to be the only thing she truly enjoyed. Dude! They were what eventually killed her. And died on our ratty fold-out sofa while listening to music on an old MP3 player I'd repaired and given to her the previous Christmas, like Star-Lord, but in reverse.
And sad.
That was when I had to move in with my mom's sister, Alice. I tried to look on the bright side, to remind myself that, orphaned or not, I was still better off than most of the kids in Africa.
What? Can you imagine that all those other, like, countries and areas all were, like, prospering right now? Like, their economies were, like, hella tight, and, like, it's just, like,
were hella tight.
Hella tight, and, like, it's just, like, the US that is messed up.
This is the hunt for Halliday's Easter Then the hunt for Halliday's Easter egg began. It's just after Easter when we record this. For the last 5 years, the hunt had given me a goal and a purpose. It had given me a goal and a dolphin. The moment I began searching for the egg, the future no longer seemed so bleak. So once again, it is literally just like playing video games to ignore like the shitty world and the fucking depression.
Yep, this is gonna be me later every time I get a new old dog for my sanctuary. That's just me fighting off the sadness.
My Aunt Alice walked in, a malnourished harpy in a housecoat. Dude, chill! Clutching a basket of dirty clothes. I know she's not nice, but I don't love your tone.
I would love to have a pair of booty shorts that said a malnourished harpy in a housecoat.
Her eyes went wide when she spotted my laptop. I quickly closed it and began to shove it into my backpack, but I knew it was already too late. What's the voice for that? Hand it over, Wade, she ordered, reaching for the laptop. I can pawn it to help pay our rent.
I don't think she's going to use that money to pay the rent.
No, I shouted, twisting away from her. Come on, Aunt Alice, I need it for school. What you need is to show some gratitude, she barked. Everyone else around here has to pay rent. I'm tired of you leeching off me. You keep all of my food vouchers. That more than covers my share of the rent. The hell it does! Hi, I'm Mark Loafers Lardy, and this is my character reel. Aunt Alice returned a few seconds later with her boyfriend, Rick, who was still half asleep. Wade.
Oh, please don't.
Wade, we gotta go on an adventure, Wade. It's gonna be great. 5 minutes, in and out. Rick was perpetually shirtless, hell yeah, because he liked to show off his impressive collection of prison tattoos.
Me too.
Without saying a word, he walked over and raised a fist at me, threateningly.
Wait, I just am shirtless, half asleep, man. Grrr. Grrr.
This is my fist,
Grrr.
Wade. You don't wanna... You look at it. This is my fist. Grr.
Loafers, I'm sorry, I gotta break something to you.
Yeah.
I need you to not be upset.
Is the Rick impression bad?
The Rick impression's a little bad.
Oh well, I'll just cut it. That's okay. I could never get that down. Morty's okay. Rick not so much.
After this podcast, Loafers is gonna close the laptop and be like, I try really hard.
You guys just don't appreciate me.
I just want to sell a Rick.
Losing the laptop wasn't a big deal. I had 2 spares stowed in my hideout, but they weren't nearly as fast, and I would have to reload all of my media onto them from backup drive. This book is pretty fucking boring. Jesus.
I'm really disappointed in the lack of footnotes that are occurring right now, but where are the footnotes? I want to see, well, Rick was shirtless. You saw his tattoos. His tattoos included a version of Mrs. Pac-Man being slaughtered by Donkey Kong.
I decided it might be a good idea to leave for school a little early today. I dressed as quickly and quietly as possible, pulling on the worn corduroys, baggy sweater, and oversized coat that comprised my entire winter wardrobe. My aunt's trailers was the top unit in a stack, 22 mobile homes high. Ah yes, the stacks. The stacks are neat, to be honest, making it a level or 2 taller than the majority of the stacks immediately surrounding it.
It should be pretty easy for him to climb down the stacks with his luscious long legs. He just walk through like Slender Man crawling through.
Yeah. He can go down 5 trailers at a time.
How does he buy pants? Does he just have to buy a bunch of them and sew them together?
That's why those few bits of clothes are his entire winter wardrobe. He had more clothes, but he had to sew them all together into one pair of pants.
Together. Rick's got nothing on him. He's whack.
Yeah. The shirts all had to be appropriated. Rick had 20 shirts, but Wade had to sew them all into his pants. The trailers on the bottom level rested on the ground, or on their original concrete foundations, but the units stacked above them... What?
Can you say that last part again?
But the units stacked above them were that bit?
Yeah. Oh, the roofs are above them were suspended from the ground. It's very musical. It's like you're singing a little song.
You always try to do a little song bit, and both times we're just completely confused.
I'm just trying to make my own fun.
Thanks, Jesse.
I am enjoying the world building that's happening right now.
Yeah, it's something. He's given it some welly, in fairness to him.
Yeah, no, I'm enjoying this more than God isn't real.
Oh God, yeah. The spires of a dozen ancient construction cranes used to do the actual stacking were positioned around the stack's ever-expanding outer perimeter. Oh, you mean they're building new housing? So it's not so bad. The dark, narrow strips of ground between the stacks were clogged with the skeletons of abandoned cars and trucks. Okay, for half a second I thought this was wild. Their gas tanks emptied as their exit routes blocked off long ago. A bright sliver of the sun peeked over the horizon. Watching it rise, I performed a mental ritual. Whenever I saw the sun, I flipped it off. I reminded myself that I was looking at a star. One of over 100 billion stars in our galaxy.
I mean, the sun's still pretty cool.
Yeah, it is, actually.
Like,
You
I
die
know it's
without
just a
it.
star, but, like, it's a pretty cool one. I think it deserves the hype.
Anyway, all of this is working towards, this helped me keep things in perspective, when actually that seems like it would freak you out, and also that he'd started doing it after watching a science program from the early 80s called Cosmos, so it's dumb nerd bullshit.
Did they even know what the sun was in the 80s?
Probably not, right? I slipped out the window as quietly as possible, and, clutching the bottom of the window frame, slid down the cold surface of the trail's metal siding. Long legs, descending 5 floors at a time. I carefully lowered myself until, half a second later, my feet rested on this ledge, then reached up to close the window behind me.
I was 20 feet higher than my feet.
I grabbed hold of a rope I strung there at waist level to serve as a handhold and began to sidestep along the ledge, which was 20 feet below my head. In the stacks, it was the best to avoid being heard or seen wherever possible. There were often dangerous and desperate people about. The sort who would rob you, rape you, and then sell your organs on the black market.
What the hell?
Ernie, question. Do you mean this in a racist way?
I do see Donkey Kong's coming up, though, so hold your breath.
Oh, yeah, I'm stoked. Descending the network of metal girders has always reminded me of old platform video games like Donkey Kong or Burger Time.
I'm sorry, but he's just like, man, I gotta be careful out here. Like, I could get killed. I could be robbed at any moment. But that, like, kind of reminds me of playing Donkey Kong. Like, you know how Donkey Kong is.
You know how, like, Donkey Kong has that air of sexual violence around him?
I mean, we could go into...
He does kidnap a woman.
Yeah. Welcome to Feminist Frequency.
Welcome to Feminist Frequency. My name is Anita Sarkeesian. Now, as we all know, every woman secretly wants to fuck Donkey Kong. So subscribe to our Patreon.
Oh shit, here you go. Look at the net. We're really getting into what the Ready Player One's about now. Keep on reading. I'm seeing some familiar faces.
Okay, hell yeah. I'd seized upon this idea a few years later when I coded my first Atari 2600 game, a Gunter rite of passage, like a Jedi building his first lightsaber. It was a Pitfall ripoff called The Stacks, where you had to navigate through a vertical maze of trailers, collecting junk computers, snagging food voucher power-ups, and avoiding meth addicts and pedophiles on your way to school. Jesus Christ. My game was a lot more fun than the real thing. Mrs. Gilmore was a total sweetheart. She let me crash on her couch when I needed to, although it was hard for me to sleep there because of all her cats. Mrs. G was super religious, and I was a real about it, and spent most of her time in the Oasis, sitting in the congregation of one of those big online mega churches, singing hymns, listening to sermons, and generally wasting her time with dumb bullshit that I don't respect. She knew the coolest bits of 80s trivia, stuff you couldn't learn from books or movies. She was always praying for me too, the dumb bitch, trying her hardest to save my soul. Wow, it's actually getting into it now. This is not a bit. I never had the heart to tell her that I thought our organized religion was a total crock. It was a pleasant fantasy that gave her hope and kept her going, which was exactly what the hunt was for me. To quote the almanac, people who live in glass houses should shut the fuck up. Yeah, you should shut the fuck up. He's right. Video games are exactly like religion. I jumped off the scaffolds and it drops the few remaining feet to the ground. My rubber boots crashed into the slush and frozen mud. I'm sliding through different voices. It was still pretty dark down here. I reached the giant mound of old cars and trucks piled haphazardly along the stack's eastern perimeter. I turned sideways to squeeze through a gap between two crushed cars. That sounds risky. From there I ducked, clambered, and sidestepped my way farther and farther into the ramshackle mountain of twisted metal. This is my hole. It was made for me. Until I reached a small open space at the rear of a buried cargo van. I pocketed my flashlight and unlocked the van's rear right door. It opened about 1.5 feet, giving me just enough space to squeeze inside. 2 trucks, am I right? Someone has removed all of the van's seats, probably to use as furniture, leaving a small room, about 4 feet wide, 4 feet high, as 9 feet long, leaving just enough room for half of my legs.
Yeah, you know, like in Alice in Wonderland, when Alice is standing up in the house and, like, half her body's sticking out.
Oh, well, like, hang on, we can go back and do the grandma. How about that? Okay, from Wade, she said.
Wait, guys, rewind. Mario.
Wade!
She said, cracking open her window.
Good morning, my dear boy.
Good morning, Mrs. G, I said. I hope I didn't startle you.
Not at all.
She said. She pulled her robe tight against the draft coming in the window.
Boo, it's freezing out there. Why don't you come in and have some breakfast? I've got some soy bacon, and these powdered eggs aren't too bad if you put enough salt on them.
Thanks, but I can't this morning, Mrs. G. I have to get to school. You can tell from the slice of toast in my mouth.
All right, Rachel.
You laughed at that joke the first time?
Oh, we did. We did the first time. It was a good joke the first time. I want the record to show that I also made a joke the first time that soy bacon and powdered eggs is basically what Jesse and I eat on the regular. And that also made people chuckle. Anyway.
All right, rain check then.
She blew me a kiss and started to close the window. Try not to break your neck. Wait, no, that's you.
You stole my line. Try not to break your neck climbing around out there, okay, Miss Spider-Man?
Do your Spider-Man bit.
Timothy Holland. I miss him. Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good. And we cried. Also, Andrew Garfield, and who else was Spider-Man? Tobey Maguire.
Tobey.
Wow! So many Spider-Men. Whoo!
I mean, that's how I feel about Tobey Maguire now, just like looking back 20 years and being like, oh, they were so much better back in the day.
Oh,
there was a real passion for the film making, you know?
Wow!
And you're not even 70, so you don't have any excuse.
I am 25.
Oh, everyone's older than me. Let's talk about our ages.
I'm 25. That's kind of all I have to say. I would like 1 year of my
37.
20s back, please.
Jesse, you're not 27, you're 26. You're turning 27.
I said I was 37.
You're not 37.
You're not 37 either.
And I'm starting my pension.
That's not when you start your pension.
None of those things are true.
First off, due to my extreme girl boss nature, I'm going to be able to retire at the age of 39. So back off a little bit there.
Yeah, lean in, Sam.
I'm so sorry, honey. When you retire at 39, I'll be eating my words. Also, if you're 37, our age gap is a little rough because I'm 22.
Age gap discourse. Age gap discourse.
Yay.
Listen.
Oh, God.
Nothing wrong with having myself a young, hot side piece.
I'm gonna fast forward again to this was my hideout. When I first opened the door and gazed into the van's darkened interior, I knew right away that I'd found the van's pussy. This was a place no one else knew about, where I wouldn't have to worry about getting hassled or slapped around by Donkey Kong or whatever loser my aunt was currently dating, one of whom was Donkey Kong. I could keep my things here without worrying they'd be stolen by Donkey Kong. The van was my refuge. You'd probably think that the Oasis would be my refuge, but that's definitely not the case.
No, it's the van.
It was where I attended school, did my homework, read books, watched movies, and played video games. I'm not convinced that this kid reads, or even knows how to.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I covered the walls, floor, and ceiling with shit and pieces of carpeting. Sorry. With pieces of carpeting in an effort to soundproof the van as much as possible.
Why doesn't he just live in the van instead of living with his nasty aunt who's mean?
Well, because he's got to piss, Jesse. Where would he piss?
He can just piss outside.
You can just piss outside.
But he's got to eat.
What?
He's got to eat. He can't cook in the van.
Yeah, he's got... Okay, first off, lots of people do. Alright, have you ever watched those living in a van TikTokers? Because I certainly have.
Have you seen Nomadland?
I haven't. And I have watched the van TikTokers.
Because Ready Player One is essentially the same as Nomadland.
Okay, well, I'll look it up and I'll figure it out. But I'm just saying.
I'm lying, just to be clear.
Because his aunt steals all his food tickets anyway.
Yeah, but then he pawns things and then he gets the food tickets.
Yes. He pawns things, he gets the food tickets, then he can buy food, but he still needs to cook it.
Yeah. Where would he cook it, Jesse?
Fire.
Fire. You think this fucker...
Fire.
Oh no, there's a fire?
Fire.
There's no fire. Stop yelling fire when there's no fire.
I'm sick of this discussion. I don't want to explain myself anymore. I just wanted to criticize the book in peace like you two fuckers get to do all the time. And then I get called to, ooh, what is he gonna cook his food? Don't fucking worry about it.
I just wanted to know.
You two are going to get divorced by the end of the pod. That's how we're going to change as people. Several cardboard boxes of busted laptops and computer parts sat in the corner, right next to a rack of old car batteries and a modified exercise bike I'd rigged up as a recharger. The only furniture was a folding lawn chair. I dropped my backpack, shrugged off my coat, and hopped on the exercise bike.
Time
I don't
to
believe
work
this
out.
kid exercises. Charging the batteries was usually the only physical physical exercise I got each day. I pedalled until the meter said the batteries had a full charge, then sat down in my chair and switched on the small electric heater I kept beside it. I pulled off my gloves and rubbed my hands in front of the filaments as they began to glow bright orange. This sounds like exactly one step down from my current flat.
Jesse, why do you sound like you're like stifling yourself? What's happening, Queen?
I'm
What?
not gonna make that joke.
What?
No, you gotta. I can cut it out if it's too much, but you gotta make it now.
I was gonna say that's how I charge my vibrator.
No, that's a good joke. I like that one.
No, that's going in. I couldn't leave the vibrator on for very long, or it would drain the batteries. I opened the rat-proof metal box where I kept my food cache and took out some bottled water and a packet of powdered milk. I mixed these together in a bowl, then dumped in a generous serving of Fruit Rock cereal.
Rocks.
Once I wolfed it down, I retrieved an old plastic Star Trek lunchbox I kept hidden under the van's crushed dashboard. Inside were my school-issued Oasis console, haptic gloves, like the power gloves, and a visor. These items were, by far, the most valuable things I owned. Far too valuable to carry around with me.
But not too valuable that I couldn't leave them in a barely locked van.
Yeah, apparently it's like sufficiently hidden or whatever. We're on the last page. We're gonna do it. I pulled on my elastic haptic gloves and flexed my fingers to make sure none of the joints was sticking. Grammar error. Just gonna make note of that. Joints was sticking. Then I grabbed my Oasis console, a flat black rectangle about the size of a paperback book.
Anyone else getting hyped right now? Ooh, he's about to go in, guys. It's gonna happen, guys.
He's about to go into the game.
Mario's coming.
It's gonna happen at the game. What's gonna happen?
He's about to log on, Skylar. It's pretty exciting. And Skylar's like not looking up from the newspaper, like, yeah.
Who's Skylar?
Have you guys seen Breaking Bad?
No.
Damn, my Breaking Bad bit is wasted on you.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, well.
I've watched Breaking Bad. I just refuse to acknowledge any woman in that show.
I love my misogynist wife.
The reception inside the van was for shit, so I rigged up an external antenna and mounted it on the hood of a car at the top of the junk pile. The antenna cable snaked up through a hole I'd punched in the van's ceiling.
Like physically
you can do
punched?
that? Wade can just punch a hole in the ceiling of a van? Is he...
Have you done that?
No, Jesse. No, I haven't.
He just pushed his real big leg super hard.
Yeah, like, what's the situation with this exercise bike? Just like the
He just has to wheel once and it's fully charged.
Yeah. I don't think that's how that works. I don't think it's like the power is relative to the length of the leg. I think it's just like it would have to be a very wide van and like the wings, it's like a wingspan. It's like open like a big dragonfly. The antenna that I plugged it into a port on the side of the console, then slipped on my visor. I saw a brief flash of red as the visor scanned my retinas. Then I cleared my throat and said my login
retinas sounds kind of like a dirty word.
Retinas.
Retinas. Like, don't you feel like that's a little bit dirty?
No.
I don't know. It just sounds like it's like. What do you mean?
No, hold on. We need to get to his login passphrase, which is stupid.
His login passphrase is, "You have been recruited by the Star League to defend the frontier against Sir and the Kodan Armada." That is dumb. What the fuck is that from? Whatever. My passphrase was also verified, along with my voice pattern, and then I was logged in. What if your voice breaks or something? The following text appeared, superimposed in the center of my virtual display. I'm gonna... Identity verification successful. Welcome to the Oasis, Percival. Login completed. A bunch of numbers. As the text faded away, it was replaced by a short message, just 3 words long. Suck my dick. This message had been embedded by the login sequence by James Halliday himself when he'd first programmed VR chat as an homage to the simulation's direct ancestors, the coin-operated video James of his youth. These 3 words were always the last thing an Oasis user saw before leaving the real world and entering the virtual one. Ready? Player 1. Ba-da-da. Woo!
Podcast over. Thanks, guys, for tuning in.
Thanks for hanging out. You can follow my Twitter at Loafers Rights. You can follow my Patreon at Loafers. You can listen to my other podcast, America's Widows, where I talk about Falcon and the Winter Soldier with my friend Kimberly Chu. And GG, everybody. We love you. You're very special.
We love you.
You can follow me at Disney Official.
You can follow me at Cinnamon Toast Crunch on Twitter. If you have any questions about the podcast, please
DM me.
tweet at Cinnamon. Please DM me at Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
What's Cinnamon Toast Crunch? Is that just a brand?
Yeah, it's a cereal. Have you never had Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
It's my Twitter. It's my Twitter.
Oh, yeah, of course. It's your Twitter. Of course.
My
Sorry,
public Twitter actually is Kellogg's. So if you have any questions about the podcast, please DM my Twitter, Kellogg's.
If you would like to call Jesse a please just add Kellogg's and say
Jeez.
That's right, everybody. Go tweet at Kellogg's.
God. My name is Waltimer Disney, and I am a capitalist. Goodbye.
Goodbye!
And if you want to cancel loafers for saying you can...
I'll bleep it out! They'll never know!
Do you think you're calling me another slur? They're gonna think you're calling me a beep beep, beep 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 beep.
Yeah, and maybe I did. So there.
A beep beep, a beep, a beep.
Roadrunner.
Don't worry. Meep meep. Don't worry, everyone. It's strictly the slurs that I'm allowed to say. Okay, for real. Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. We love you.
We love you.
Remember Akira? That's from Japan. Remember Galaga and Mrs. Pac-Man? Remember Highlander and Highlander 2? Remember Star Trek? We certainly do. Reading Player 1.